Welcome to Stoic In Your Life, where ancient wisdom meets modern living. Today we embark on a journey to uncover the art of simplicity through the lens of Stoicism and Minimalist Philosophy. Our life is frittered away by detail. Simplify, simplify, Henry David Thoreau once profoundly stated. In a world brimming with complexities, how do we strip away the superfluous to reveal the essence of a fulfilling life? Thoreau, a transcendentalist philosopher, believes simplicity to be nature's law for humanity. In simplicity we find our optimal state, unburdened by clutter, free from the unnecessary. It's in this simplicity that our life's path becomes clear, our origins understood, and our direction focused. As minimal chaos clouds our vision, we see the world and our place in it with greater clarity. Drawing parallels to a mathematician simplifying an equation to its core, Thoreau saw life's simplicity as essential. Yet in our modern era of endless possibilities, we often fall into the trap of overcomplication. Our consumer-driven culture bombards us with the notion that our lives are lacking, pushing us towards a relentless accumulation of things we seldom need. Moreover, in a society obsessed with performance and competition, our lives become a whirlwind of activities, goals, and aspirations. We're inundated with material possessions, social connections, ideas, and stimuli. Our minds are a battleground of worries and desires, leaving us in a perpetual state of restlessness, unable to discern the essential from the trivial. Painter Hans Hofmann once said, "The ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary may speak." Research supports this, linking simplicity to well-being. For instance, a study by the Center of Development Studies at the University of Bath reveals that voluntary simplicity significantly enhances subjective well-being. This approach not only brings experiential benefits like a sense of security, autonomy, and competence, but also aligns with ecological and societal values. In this video, we delve into practical strategies to simplify your life, aiming to enhance your overall well-being. Join us as we explore how embracing minimalism and Stoic principles can lead to a more focused, serene, and meaningful existence. Let's begin this transformative journey together. In the bustling streets of ancient Greece, Diogenes, a philosopher of note, embraced a life of stark simplicity. His home was but a barrel, his possessions mere rags and a solitary drinking cup. Yet a pivotal moment came when he observed a child cupping water in his hands to drink. In that instant, Diogenes discarded his cup, proclaiming with admiration, "A child has beaten me in plainness of living." This tale of Diogenes isn't an isolated one. History is replete with hermits and monastic orders who chose to renounce worldly possessions, finding liberation in the absence of material burdens. Echoing the sentiment, the Dalai Lama once stated, "If one's life is simple, contentment has to come." Simplicity is extremely important for happiness. Having few desires, feeling satisfied with what you have is very vital. Satisfaction, with just enough food, clothing, and shelter to protect yourself from the elements. This powerful message underscores the essence of a minimalist lifestyle, where happiness stems not from abundance, but from the contentment of sufficiency. Now, let's bring this closer to home. You don't need to walk the path of a cynic, a Buddhist monk, or a hermit to taste the sweet nectar of a life unburdened by excess. Embracing minimalism, even in small steps, can profoundly transform your life. It's about peeling away the layers of unnecessary clutter that often cloud our senses and judgment. Imagine a life where each possession holds purpose and value, where simplicity isn't a compromise but a strategic choice for clarity and peace. As you ponder this, let's draw wisdom from the Stoics. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This statement is a powerful reminder that true wealth lies in our perception and contentment, not in the quantity of our possessions. The minimalist philosophy, deeply intertwined with Stoic principles, encourages us to re-evaluate our needs versus wants. It's a journey towards realizing that, often, less is more. Imagine your life streamlined where each item you own serves a purpose or brings joy. This isn't about living with the bare minimum, but finding a balance where everything you have enriches your life, reducing stress and increasing focus and productivity. It's about creating space, not just physically but mentally and emotionally, for what truly matters. In embracing this minimalist philosophy, you're not just decluttering your space. You're decluttering your mind. You're making room for growth, for peace, for the ability to focus on personal development and the things that bring true happiness. It's a path towards a more intentional and fulfilling life, where each choice, each possession is a reflection of your values and aspirations. So, as you listen, consider this. What in your life serves you, and what merely occupies space? How can you simplify, not just in the physical sense, but in your thoughts and actions? Remember, the journey to simplicity is not a destination but a continuous process of finding balance and contentment in the essentials of life. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Let this be your guiding principle as you navigate the path of minimalism, finding joy and contentment in the simplicity of life. In the profound words of Carl Jung, our living spaces are not merely physical structures but profound extensions of our inner selves. This perspective illuminates the significant impact of maintaining a clean and orderly environment on our mental well-being. The principle is straightforward yet profound. The more possessions we accumulate, the heavier the burden of worry, care, and protection becomes. Inversely, a reduction in material belongings correlates with an increase in mental tranquility and the conservation of time and energy. This concept of owning less to gain more is particularly resonant in today's fast-paced world. It prompts a critical examination of our needs versus wants. The question arises, do we genuinely require expansive homes, luxury vehicles, and an abundance of clothing and entertainment options? Or are these merely symbols of a consumerist culture that equates happiness with material acquisition? The allure of pursuing material goods is undeniable, yet it's crucial to recognize that material possessions are not reliable investments in lasting contentment. The initial euphoria of acquisition often fades, leaving a void that no amount of physical objects can fill. Echoing this sentiment, Roman author Pliny the Younger astutely observed, "An object in possession seldom retains the same charm that it had in pursuit." This timeless quote underscores the fleeting nature of material satisfaction. By embracing minimalism, we not only avoid the trap of short-lived happiness, but also prevent the accumulation of unnecessary items that clutter our lives and spaces. However, the journey towards a minimalist lifestyle extends beyond the mere reduction of physical possessions. It encompasses a holistic approach to life, including the design of our living spaces and the company we keep. A minimalist approach to interior design, focusing on simplicity and functionality, can significantly enhance the quality of our living environment. Similarly, human connections, while essential, can become burdensome if not mindfully curated. Surrounding ourselves with too many or the wrong people can be detrimental to our well-being. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This powerful reminder encourages us to discern between genuine needs and imagined necessities, both in our physical surroundings and social circles. The minimalist philosophy, deeply rooted in Stoicism, offers a path to a more serene and fulfilling life. By consciously choosing simplicity in our possessions, relationships, and environments, we align closer to our authentic selves. This alignment not only brings about a sense of peace and contentment, but also allows us to navigate the complexities of modern life with a clear and focused mind. As we embark on this journey of simplification, we discover that the true essence of happiness lies not in the abundance of possessions, but in the richness of our experiences and the quality of our connections. In our journey through life, we often find ourselves entangled in a web of social connections, not realizing which ones truly enrich our lives. Picture this. You're part of a bustling social circle. Yet within this whirlwind of interactions, Only a select few resonate with your soul. Meanwhile, the rest, those with whom your connection is superficial, expect your presence at their gatherings. These events, often perceived as social duties, might not bring you joy. It's a poignant reminder that when it comes to friendships, quality undoubtedly triumphs over quantity. This concept is not just a philosophical musing but is also backed by scientific research. Studies by evolutionary psychologists have unearthed a fascinating insight. Individuals with fewer friends might actually be more intelligent. The research indicates a correlation between social interaction and happiness. However, this correlation takes an intriguing turn for intellectuals. For them, an abundance of social interactions doesn't equate to greater happiness. In fact, it might be the opposite. This revelation could be a compelling reason for you to reevaluate and simplify your social life. Let's delve into a story that beautifully illustrates this idea. Imagine a philosopher from ancient times who, amidst the chaos of a bustling marketplace, finds solace in his own thoughts and a small circle of like-minded individuals. His life is a testament to the idea that true contentment comes not from the number of people we surround ourselves with, but from the depth and quality of those relationships. This allegory serves as a powerful metaphor for our modern lives, where the allure of social media and large social networks can often lead us astray from what truly matters. In the spirit of Stoicism, it's essential to apply this wisdom to our daily lives. Start by assessing your social circle. Identify those relationships that genuinely add value to your life and nurture them. Conversely, consider stepping back from connections that feel obligatory or superficial. This doesn't mean becoming a recluse, rather, it's about finding a balance that aligns with your inner tranquility and intellectual needs. To further illustrate this point, let's consider another story. This time a modern one. Imagine a successful entrepreneur constantly surrounded by a large entourage. Yet, in moments of solitude, they find themselves reflecting on a handful of meaningful relationships that truly matter. This realization leads them to a life of greater simplicity and fulfillment, focusing on deep, genuine connections. In conclusion, the lesson here is clear. Simplifying your social life isn't about isolation, but about cherishing and investing in relationships that truly matter. It's about understanding that in the realm of friendships, less can indeed be more. This approach not only aligns with the minimalist philosophy but also resonates deeply with Stoic principles. By embracing this wisdom, you can enhance the quality of your life, finding joy and contentment in the simplicity and authenticity of your connections. Next, minimalism encourages us to streamline our social interactions, focusing only on those that truly enrich our lives. This approach doesn't mean you have to sever ties with friends or live like a recluse. Instead, it's about understanding and embracing the kind of social interactions that bring you genuine satisfaction. Remember, the quantity and nature of social engagement is a deeply personal choice. Think of social minimalism as curating your social life, much like an art collector would carefully select pieces for their gallery. It's not about having fewer friends, but rather about choosing the quality of interactions you have with them. This could mean opting out of superficial small talk at parties and instead seeking out meaningful one-on-one conversations, perhaps during a peaceful walk in the woods. In our fast-paced modern world, feeling overwhelmed has become a common refrain. Often, this sense of being swamped is not just due to life's demands but also because of the incessant noise around us, especially from digital technology. By adopting social minimalism, you can reduce this noise, leading to a calmer, more centered life. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This wisdom aligns perfectly with social minimalism. It's about finding joy in the present moment and in the genuine connections we make, rather than getting lost in the digital cacophony that often dictates our lives. To put this into practice, start by evaluating your current social habits. Ask yourself, which interactions leave you feeling energized, and which ones drain you? Begin to gently step away from those draining encounters. This doesn't mean you're abandoning friendships, rather, you're choosing to engage in a way that's more fulfilling for both you and your friends. In essence, social minimalism is about creating space in your life for interactions that matter. It's about quality over quantity, depth over breadth. By simplifying your social life, you're not just decluttering your schedule, you're also making room for more meaningful, fulfilling connections. This approach can lead to a more serene and resilient spirit, much like the Stoic journey we embark on together. So, as you navigate through the ebbs and flows of your social world, remember that less can indeed be more. Embrace the quiet, the meaningful, and the genuine. In doing so, you'll find that your interactions become more enriching, your connections deeper, and your life, as a whole, more aligned with the serene principles of Stoicism. In an era where the digital world intertwines intricately with our daily lives, the concept of simplifying life becomes not just appealing, but essential. The modern human is bombarded with an overwhelming amount of stimuli, a phenomenon magnified by the advent of advanced technology. Imagine this. At any given moment, a flurry of text messages, emails, and social media notifications vie for our attention. The lure of countless television channels and streaming services, coupled with the endless expanse of information available at our fingertips, is relentless. This constant barrage often leaves us with a persistent sense of urgency, a feeling that there's always more to do, more to see, and more to experience. It's as if we're in a perpetual state of fear of missing out. This is where the philosophy of digital minimalism comes into play, a concept eloquently presented by author Cal Newport. Newport's perspective is profound yet simple. Our social interactions are far too intricate to be relegated to the confines of a social network or encapsulated in instant messages and emojis. His book, Digital Minimalism, is not about renouncing technology entirely, but about embracing it judiciously. Newport defines digital minimalism with a poignant clarity, a philosophy of technology use in which you focus your online time on a small number of carefully selected and optimized activities that strongly support things you value, and then happily miss out on everything else. This philosophy aligns seamlessly with the Stoic principle, articulated by Seneca. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. Just as Seneca urges us to desire less to enrich our lives, digital minimalism advocates for a reduction in digital clutter to enhance our real-world experiences. By consciously limiting our online engagement, we significantly reduce unnecessary distractions. This is not a mere trimming of digital fat, it's a strategic elimination of digital excess that pervades our lives. The result? A life less cluttered, more focused, and deeply aligned with our true values. In the context of modern life, this philosophy is more than just a theoretical ideal. It's a practical, actionable approach. It encourages us to pause and reflect. What digital activities truly add value to our lives? Are we engaging in online behaviors that align with our core values? Or are we simply caught in a whirlwind of digital noise? The answers to these questions guide us in crafting a digital experience that is not only less cluttered, but also more fulfilling. In conclusion, embracing digital minimalism is akin to navigating a ship through a stormy sea. The distractions are the waves and winds, constantly pushing us off course. But with a clear destination in mind and a firm hand on the wheel, we can steer our lives towards what truly matters, finding serenity and resilience in the simplicity of our journey. This is the essence of a life simplified, a life enriched by the principles of minimalism and Stoicism, where less is indeed more, and where the pursuit of tranquility triumphs over the chaos of excess. In our era marked by a plethora of choices and opportunities, indecisiveness and procrastination have become prevalent issues. This abundance of options often leads to a desire for everything, yet ironically, this can result in achieving nothing. The crux of the problem lies in our inability to prioritize effectively in a world brimming with possibilities. The modern Western lifestyle, particularly evident in the schedules of many individuals, is a testament to a culture obsessed with constant activity. This phenomenon starts early in life, as seen in the upbringing of children who, apart from their academic responsibilities, are frequently engaged in numerous extracurricular activities. Their weeks are filled to the brim. Soccer on Saturdays, Boy Scouts on Sundays, tennis on Tuesdays, piano lessons on Wednesdays, and horse riding on Thursdays. This pattern often persists into adulthood, leading to overloaded schedules and little time for reflection or relaxation. Swiss philosopher Henri-Frédéric Amiel insightfully remarked, "A man must be able to cut a knot, for everything cannot be untied. He must know how to disengage what is essential from the detail in which it is enwrapped, for everything cannot be equally considered. In a word, he must be able to simplify his duties, his business, and his life." This quote underscores the importance of discernment and the ability to focus on what truly matters, setting aside the less important details. Adopting a minimalist approach to our schedules can provide clarity and help us focus on the essentials of our lives. This often requires the courage to say no to certain activities and the willingness to diverge from the paths taken by our peers. The reward for this bravery is more time and space in our lives, allowing for deeper engagement with what truly matters. However, simplifying our external environment is only part of the solution. If our minds are cluttered with unnecessary thoughts, worries, and overthinking, our lives will remain complicated despite our efforts to simplify our surroundings. It's crucial to recognize that problems often originate in the mind, not in the external world. By addressing our internal clutter, we can truly simplify our lives. To illustrate this, consider the story of a Stoic philosopher who, despite living in a modest abode with minimal possessions, found himself overwhelmed by anxiety and stress. He realized that his mental clutter, not his physical environment, was the root cause of his distress. By practicing mindfulness and focusing on the present moment, he learned to let go of unnecessary worries, leading to a more serene and simplified life. In conclusion, the journey to a simplified life is not just about decluttering our physical space, but also about decluttering our minds. By prioritizing what's truly important, saying no to the non-essential, and addressing our mental clutter, we can find peace and clarity in our lives. As we embark on this journey, let us remember Amiel's words and strive to disentangle the essential from the superfluous, simplifying our duties, our business, and ultimately our lives. In our quest for a simpler life, we often find ourselves in a paradoxical situation. Picture this. Our living spaces are the epitome of minimalism, devoid of clutter, reflecting a serene exterior. Yet inside our minds, it's a different story. There's a ceaseless marathon of thoughts, worries about work, and ruminations over past events. It's like standing in a tranquil, empty room, but with a storm raging in your head. This dichotomy leads us to question the effectiveness of our efforts to simplify our external environment in the hope of achieving inner peace and well-being. Now, let's delve deeper into this. Imagine your living room, a model of minimalist design, but as you sit there, your mind is far from peaceful. It's crowded with a jumble of thoughts about your job, your relationships, and endless what-ifs. Similarly, your planner might have plenty of open spaces, but your brain is like a crowded street at rush hour, bustling with thoughts about past mistakes and future anxieties. It's as if you're haunted by obsessive thinking every moment you're awake, making your attempts to simplify your life seem almost futile. This brings us to an important realization. Simplifying our external world is just one part of the journey. The true challenge lies in taming the chaos within our minds. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. This is a call to focus on the present moment, to find peace in the now, rather than getting lost in the worries of what has been or what will be. To truly embrace minimalism and its philosophy, we need to apply its principles to our internal world. This means learning to let go of unnecessary thoughts, just as we discard unneeded physical possessions. It's about finding clarity amidst the noise, understanding what truly matters, and focusing on that. It's a journey of internal decluttering, where we sift through our thoughts, keeping only those that serve us and contribute to our well-being. Consider the story of a Stoic philosopher who, upon losing everything in a shipwreck, said, "I have lost all my possessions, yet I am not bereft of my virtues." This allegory teaches us the power of internal wealth. No matter what happens externally, our inner resilience, our virtues, and our ability to remain calm and composed are what truly define us. So, as we strive for a simpler life, let's not forget that the real transformation begins within. It's about aligning our external simplification with internal serenity. It's a journey of balancing the minimalist spaces we create around us with a minimalist mindset. By doing so, we can find true peace and contentment, not just in our surroundings, but within ourselves. In conclusion, remember that simplifying your life isn't just about the space you live in, it's also about the space you create in your mind. As Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic philosopher, wisely stated, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking." Let this be a guiding light in your journey towards a life of simplicity and inner peace. 4 tips to simplify your life right now. In the journey of life, simplifying your existence can be a transformative adventure, a voyage within that unveils new realms of self-discovery and untapped strengths. It's akin to a mariner setting sail to uncharted territories, each wave of change bringing you closer to a state of tranquility, love, and profound happiness. This process begins with a pivotal step: simplifying your expectations. Picture yourself as a sculptor, chiseling away the burdens of the past. As each piece falls away, you're not just discarding old weights, but you're also shaping a future that's unburdened and free, allowing you to embrace a life of simplicity and clarity. Tip 1. Give what you want to receive. This principle is a timeless echo of the universal law of reciprocity. Imagine your actions as a mirror, reflecting back the energy you project into the world. If you seek love, let your heart be a beacon of love to others. In the quest for friendship, extend the hand of camaraderie, and if it's wealth you desire, invest in enriching your own value. This concept is beautifully encapsulated in the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who said, "We should give as we would receive, cheerfully, quickly, and without hesitation, for there is no grace in a benefit that sticks to the fingers." As you navigate this path, remember that simplifying your life isn't just about external changes. It's an inward journey of self-discovery. You're not just exploring new territories, you're uncovering hidden facets of your being. This exploration is akin to discovering new continents within yourself, each revealing unique strengths and insights. It's a journey that leads to inner peace, love, and a happiness that's deeply rooted and enduring. In this process, you'll encounter challenges and obstacles, much like a sailor braving the unpredictable seas. But just as the sailor learns to read the stars and the winds, you'll learn to navigate the complexities of life with wisdom and resilience. This journey of simplification is not about removing joy from your life. Rather, it's about eliminating the unnecessary so the essential can speak. As you embark on this voyage, remember that the goal is not to reach a destination of simplicity, but to embrace the journey itself. Each step you take, each decision to let go of the superfluous, brings you closer to understanding the core of who you are and what truly matters in life. This understanding is the treasure you seek, a treasure that once found enriches every aspect of your existence. So, set sail on this adventure of simplification, let go of the past, embrace the present, and shape a future that resonates with the essence of who you truly are. In doing so, you'll find that the greatest joys and the deepest peace are not found in the accumulation of things, but in the simplicity and richness of a life well lived. 2. Simplify everything. In this bustling era where complexity often clouds our judgment, the art of simplification emerges as a beacon of clarity. The rise of minimalism as a lifestyle choice is not merely a trend. It's a testament to the profound impact of decluttering our lives. Consider the act of organizing a closet. This seemingly mundane task is, in fact, a powerful metaphor for life. By removing the unnecessary, we create space, not just in our physical environment, but in our minds as well. When evaluating whether an item or a need is essential, pause, and reflect deeply. This process is akin to the Stoic practice of discernment, where one separates what is within our control from what is not. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely stated, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Apply this principle to your possessions and commitments. Listen to your inner voice and carefully consider if they truly enrich your life. Eliminate everything that fails to serve a meaningful purpose. In doing so, you align closer with the Stoic ideal of living a life of virtue and simplicity. This approach is not just about physical decluttering, it's about mental and emotional liberation. By simplifying, you're not just tidying up a space, you're setting yourself free from the chains of excess. This philosophy, when applied to modern life, offers a path to tranquility amidst chaos. It's a reminder that sometimes less is indeed more, and in that minimalism, there's a profound sense of freedom and focus that can guide you through the complexities of life. 3. Simplify your expectations. In the whirlwind of life, we often find ourselves entangled in a web of expectations, both from others and ourselves. These expectations, while seemingly innocuous, can add layers of complexity to our lives, making it harder to navigate through our daily routines. The key to a more serene and manageable life lies in the art of simplifying these expectations. Consider this. When we hold on to rigid expectations from our past, especially in our relationships, we inadvertently set ourselves up for disappointment. It's like trying to sail a boat while still anchored. We can't move forward. By releasing these anchors, we embrace a fresher, more liberated life. This doesn't mean lowering our standards, but rather understanding and accepting the imperfections in others and ourselves. For instance, if a close friend lets you down, instead of harboring resentment or clinging to unrealistic ideals, choose to see them in their entirety, flaws and all. This act of acceptance is not just about them, it's a gift to yourself, freeing you from the burden of unmet expectations. The same principle applies to our self-perception. Often we are our own harshest critics and striving for a level of perfection that is not just unattainable, but also unnecessary. By simplifying our expectations of ourselves, we open the door to a more content and productive life. Imagine a painter who, instead of obsessing over every stroke being perfect, revels in the joy of creation. Their art not only becomes more authentic but also more enjoyable. Similarly, when we ease the pressure on ourselves, we find that our work and our lives flow more smoothly. Now consider the tale of Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism. After a shipwreck, he lost everything he had. Instead of wallowing in despair, Zeno simplified his life and expectations, which led him to create Stoicism. This philosophy emphasizes the importance of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. Zeno's story teaches us that in simplicity and acceptance, there is profound strength and freedom. In conclusion, simplifying our expectations is not about diminishing our dreams or settling for less. It's about embracing life as it is, with all its imperfections and surprises. By doing so, we not only make our lives more manageable, but also open ourselves to a world of unexpected joys and achievements. So, let go of the heavy burdens of unrealistic expectations and step into a lighter, more fulfilling life. 4. Others don't care about you as much as you think. Picture yourself stepping outside, inhaling the crisp air, and confronting a pivotal question. Who am I, and who do I yearn to become? This introspection is your compass, guiding you towards authenticity. Embrace this journey of self-discovery, and let your actions resonate with the truths you unearth. Shackling ourselves to the comfort zone, especially out of fear of others' judgments, is a common trap. It's a seductive illusion, offering safety but stunting our growth. Remember, the opinions of others are fleeting and far less significant in shaping your destiny than your own convictions. If you constantly fret over societal perceptions, you're likely to miss out on crafting a life of substance and meaning. To simplify your life, start by tuning out the trivial chatter. Don't let the voices of doubt cloud your aspirations. As Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This is especially true when we give undue importance to others' opinions. Their doubts and predictions are mere echoes, not determinants of your potential. So rise above the noise. Don't be deterred by the fear of climbing too high or venturing too far from the norm. Your path is uniquely yours. Forge it with courage and conviction, and let the simplicity of living true to yourself be your guiding star. In this journey, you'll find not just freedom, but a profound sense of fulfillment. Thank you for watching. We've explored the profound wisdom of minimalism and how it can lead to a more content and fulfilling existence. Remember, simplicity isn't about having less for the sake of it. It's about making room for more of what truly matters. Before we part ways, I'd like to invite you to engage with us further. If you found value in our discussion today, please consider giving us a like and sharing this video with others who might benefit from embracing a minimalist philosophy. Your support is greatly appreciated and helps us continue to bring insightful content your way. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Stoic in Your Life and turn on notifications. By doing so, you'll stay updated with our latest videos and ensure you don't miss out on any new insights and discussions. Thank you for joining us on this journey towards simplicity and clarity. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, embrace minimalism, cherish the essentials, and find peace in the simplicity of life.